I wasn't good enough again. And like all of the stuff that he'd said about loving me, like that was just gone.
So through all this horrificness, he's still looking for approval, which is crazy.
This is
oh
dad.
My goodness. What's going on? It's your boy Syntell with the Intel, and I'm here with the beautiful Mikel-Claire.
Trauma bonding.
Yes, this is episode 5, the most ballyhooed episode 5. I will try and force ballyhoo in everything. It's such a fun word to say.
Where did that come from?
I'm trying to bring some joy before we sit here and walk into a world of trauma. This
my gosh.
is Monsters
Episode
Season
5.
2, Episode 5, the Menendez brothers story. Make sure you stay to the very end, because you already know me and Mikel-Claire. We're going to chop it up. Have a bit of a back and forth, a small one, but a bit of a back and forth over the things we've enjoyed. And
possible cry.
over some of the things we may be scratching our heads over. So without any further ado, let's get started. Thanks, Netflix!
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Get our
I'm
childhood
not
taken
ready.
away from
Oh
us
my
real
gosh,
quick.
I'm not ready.
Oh my gosh.
I really am afraid. Like, I literally have anxiety right now.
Really? It's like that?
Well, everybody says it's like
Everybody is
that.
saying it. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. He just looks numb, doesn't he?
It's terrible you're locked up in here. But that is what I am here for, right?
Will she bring us some candy?
No, never.
Good.
Well, I'm surprised. Well, then again, as much as he loves his body.
He likes health.
Yeah.
Just always disgusted me.
Good.
Just the smell of it in his mouth.
Well,
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They've had.
Bother me with you?
okay, good. Don't ever start, okay?
He looks so innocent right now.
That's the whole point, I'm sure. I mean, and he is young, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Did they ever disclose how old he was? Because he's the minor,
Yeah, I
right?
think-
So he's like 17, maybe?
I think so.
Okay.
Ever since they found that letter and Lyle got moved, I've been here in 7,000 by myself now. On Saturday, he was just gone.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know whether they moved him or...
You know, you move people, solitary confinement. Sometimes you change wards, all kind of stuff.
Lonesome.
It was random.
Yeah.
He'd just be
No,
gone
no,
from jail.
Well, I'm sorry
they
about
move you.
that.
Could have gone to federal. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Lyle's lawyer, Jill, was there too. And I actually asked Jill if I could just come talk to you alone today.
It's interesting that we're just seeing the back of her, right? Like the framing.
With Lyle, but with your dad too, and the objects. Lyle did to you, but also the things he knew that were going on with you and your dad.
Yes, that's what we, in the days leading up to that night, that's what we talked about.
Oh.
Comparing notes, I guess you could say. But not in a happy way.
Right?
Finally talk about it, to have it be out in the open.
Okay, and just to ask, just to say it out loud, you believe him, yeah?
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know he's telling the truth.
Yes.
What am I supposed to...
No, so do I. I just,
Have to ask.
that however much you loved this man,
Okay.
he was a monster.
Is he talking about his father or Lyle?
The father is the monster, but do you believe Lyle?
I really do get this feeling from him that he feels you had it worse.
Probably longer, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was much worse.
Can you,
Sure.
I just need you right now, if you can, to just tell me everything.
Yeah, okay.
Can you do that?
No.
Where should I start?
From the beginning.
Well, I guess I would just ask, do you remember when it started?
I think he said he was 5, right?
Nice. Ugh.
I always felt like Lyle was my my protector.
Even when he was abusing you?
Yeah, he wasn't. No, I was like 5 or something, and I wouldn't get far. I would just get to my aunt's house, just a few blocks down.
I didn't know that she lived so close.
And he said, you know, Eric, how could you let this happen? Like, do you like it or something? Because
Dang.
I was like, well, because they always come find me. Every time I tried, they would find me, and it just would get worse.
No.
No. My mom and my dad and my whole family, they were like this octopus that you could never escape from.
Because they're come and grab you. Or
Yeah, something
That's
like
what-
that.
We understood.
The actors may be improving a little bit. So, I don't know.
Really?
Maybe.
Well, the massages did.
Eric, what?
It didn't start out bad.
Grooming.
Yeah.
It would just be after tennis or after swimming. And
That's what Lyle said too, right?
Yeah, with the massages? Yeah.
Dad didn't like me.
How do you mean?
Just, he was always so mean.
Dang.
He didn't love me. And I could tell, but he would also say it. You know, he'd call me these names, and they were just
Dang.
to a kid. Like, stupid or...
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And my mom she would do it too. They would gang up on me. Like,
Oh my gosh.
said I was scared of the closet. They'd lock me in the closet.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, they were laughing, so I knew I wasn't gonna die, but still, it was just like, why would you do that? Or the basement?
Oh
Did
my
lock you in
gosh.
the basement?
Yeah, because I was scared of it.
Ah.
And
How long?
just all afternoon, or until I stopped crying.
What? He said all afternoon.
But it was mostly my dad.
He said his mom would do it too.
When you know your dad thinks you're weak, or I don't know, too scared, well, then you start to think, well, I guess I'm not tough enough, and he's always mad at you.
Dang.
Well, at first he was like he was finally nice, you know, where he was
Loving, I guess. Yeah.
because it was like he could stop being mad when no one else was there. And even when family was over, he would just call you those names, or he would hit you, and everyone would.
Goodness.
But when it was just you and him, that's when he would
Be kind.
What?
that's when he'd tell me that he loved me.
When he was abusing you?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's awful.
It was just the massages at first, like with oil, or he would have his shirt off and I'd just be in my shorts or something, and it was being with my dad where I felt like he cared about me. It was just me and him, and that was good. Those were my favorite memories.
Really?
Well, that initial, like you said, when it was just probably the grooming part. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, it wasn't scary yet, what we were doing. Didn't want to. Like, I would try not to do it. Yeah, because, you know, he'd be lying on his back, and I'd try to skip that part, and he'd say, no, you have to do that. Then the mouth massages as I got older, and like Lyle said, with the objects and the toothbrush, and
How old?
second grade, because I remember the day at school afterwards, there was a picture of a toothbrush on the bulletin board.
Triggering, I'm sure.
Right?
I remember thinking that the toothbrush in the picture wouldn't have hurt as much. And so there were 4 different kinds of sex with my dad. There was nice. Well, the massages came before, but then when he started making me use my mouth, it was too big, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And doing that to him just seemed really dirty. And
Yeah.
when he did it to me, that was. But to him, he called them naked mouth massages. I didn't like it, but he would say, you know, you did good, and good boy, and I felt that he did love me. And they'd go on for a long time, the nice sex sessions. like I was the center of the world for once, you know? And it also felt...
Doesn't it make you wonder what his dad went through?
And I realized that when we finally...
When you talked about it.
yeah.
I can't even wrap my brain around this.
And at first, he made me do it to him.
Do.
Sex. Like, to penetrate him. He always said he wanted to teach me how to use my penis. And then he started to rape me.
Oh my gosh.
He'd take a slat from underneath the bed and he'd put it under the doorknob so that, and I would cry. You know, why can't you be like Lyle? Just be a Menendez and get used to it.
Oh my gosh.
What the?
I remember feeling so disappointed because he was comparing us. I wasn't good enough again, and like all of the stuff that he'd said about loving me, like that was just gone.
So through all this horrificness, he's still looking for approval, which is crazy.
This is
Oh my
dad.
goodness.
Until
Right before?
right before they died?
Yeah,
Which
just a few months before.
Really? Wow.
That's a long time.
You were raped hundreds of times
Yeah, I was about to
by your
say.
father.
That was just what my life was like.
I'm so sorry, Eric.
Oh man.
You get through it.
Yeah, and you just survive, I guess. You live for those times when... I never wanted it to be the rough sex.
And what was rough sex like?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. This is
Hitting
Dang.
and really painful. He would get mean and he would punch.
Golly.
The rough sex was...
What?
So I'd be inserting objects into with my pins or,
what the.
you know, just trying to toughen me up. But when, like, I don't think that's supposed to make someone tough, like
What is not?
Tying some.
torturing someone.
Yes, Eric.
And I just don't think that's what a father's supposed to,
No.
I
What?
don't know.
No, what were you
No,
going
I
to
don't.
say?
No, I don't. No. Like, this is a man who did such amazing stuff, you know? Like, my dad was an amazing man. I loved him so much. Like, that would be the torture, to still love him. Why Lyle used to say, you know, Eric, they'd be proud of us. And I love you. And you took that off my shoulders, or you took that off my soul. Or that thought banging around my head, not without Lyle not here. And my friend gone now.
The amount of trauma.
I'm just blown away by you, Eric Menendez.
You don't have, you shouldn't say
No,
that.
I mean it. I really, really do.
Yeah, bad choice of words with the whole gunshot stuff.
I see what you did there.
Because you have that option too. Okay?
Okay.
Because, you know, hearing all this,
Yeah, but you can't compare traumas. It doesn't work like that.
where was your mother?
That part.
Her to give she's not supposed to be giving advice anyway, you know what I mean?
Did on them one time, and my dad was raping her.
Okay, well, that's still...
My dad ruined her life, I think, and wasn't even. She would
What?
Notice how she's completely out of the frame now.
She'd sometimes get naked.
This is your mother?
Yes. She just wanted us to think she had a nice body, and she liked ours, but it was just looking. Or when I was 16, she started doing this thing where, because I think by then the stuff with Dad was intense. My mom would do this thing where she would inspect my...
Penis.
Yeah. like, why do you shave it all? And I'd be like, no, Dad did that, but I couldn't say that because. So I was. She was. I was coming between them.
This is just.
Said anything. It was just something that you knew, but you didn't talk about because that was just our family. But I knew how she felt. Because she was terrified of AIDS, and she would always check me for blisters, like on my penis.
80s.
I think she knew that Dad and I were, so that, you know, if one of Dad's girlfriends had something,
Hold
and
on,
then I got it,
I
that
don't-
meant she could get it.
I want to
and
go
then-
back. Why would she think you would get AIDS? And before you answer that, I just want to say that I am not your mother.
Didn't he just explain why?
Okay, and I am a mother. Wasn't the perfect one, I'm sure. Maybe that's why I want another shot at it, okay? Their
Yes,
mother.
and I do.
But for her to have known and to have not intervened, okay, where she could have gone to the authorities, where she could have said, no, not my sons, you will not abuse my son. She didn't do any of that. Not because of you, look at me, not because of you, but because of her.
How much of this is her preparing him for the stand?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about that after, so I can hear what she. But yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Say it to Lyle, you deserved better than her.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why she thought you had AIDS? Can you just tell me?
You gotta say it out loud.
Well, see, this is what's so hard.
I thought he explained that.
Because, I don't know.
Because she knew.
You are. In what way you're supposed to be when that's your childhood. Like when that's what your dad's doing to you. Like, maybe we are sociopaths, but can you blame us if we are when you know what's been happening to us? Whatever feelings I have or which way
Everything is clouded.
I don't know.
Right? Oh, man.
That's why she, with the inspections when I was 16, because I was kind of in love with a boy. But it was because I was having sex with my dad, you know? Like, that's not normal. This boy, he didn't have a dad who did that to him. He was just always that way, but... And I'm not sure I am, but, like, I have those feelings. Like, I was in love with someone. It wasn't like it was with my dad. It was...
Nice.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
Goodness.
And in here it was really nice, but now it's... Whatever, it doesn't matter, but...
So they, okay.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm actually... No.
I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, I don't know what I am, and I never will be able to tell, is what I'm saying.
Damn.
I don't remember when it started. I can't remember a time when my dad wasn't me. Like, he broke me.
God.
Yes, I am. He broke me in two. He cracked me in half. I am not a real person.
Wow.
When a love does that to you, you stop being real.
You are real.
Stop saying that.
Shoot.
Just stop.
Whew.
I am the hurt man.
What is the hurt man? Since when you were little?
For as long as I can remember. That's what I call myself. Since forever. That's always been my name. And it's never gonna end. And it's never gonna not hurt. I shot my mom in the face. And my dad, I think. That's not a normal thing you do. I don't know what I am. And I don't think I'll ever know. If get out of here.
I will get you out of here.
Stop saying that. I will never really know who I am.
Dang.
I'll never know.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a cut down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Syntell. Become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Netflix, HBO Max, or Disney Plus subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a little time with a small reference video at the bottom of the screen to help you sync up the footage. And it'll be like you're watching it with your favorite pals from the internet. My goodness. Wow.
It's fascinating.
I don't even know where to even start on that.
I think for me, I'll start.
Yeah, go for it, because I'm at a loss of words right now.
Well, I think for me, the fact that he said, "I'm not real," is the one thing that that really like hit my heart the hardest.
Okay.
Cause that just, I mean, he's so like, it's so much trauma that he really doesn't even feel like a real person, because I can't even imagine. He doesn't know who he is, like
Right.
What's normal, what's not normal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And so I feel like that whole, like, I'm not real, that was just too much for me.
He's had his humanity completely stripped away from a child. Like you've everything, the normal steps that normal people go through, self-actualization and development and all of that has been stripped. Like how could you define what you think you may be when that has been forced on you?
Yeah,
by somebody that you love and respect.
Yeah, you don't know what love is, what relationships are, what they're supposed to look like, that they don't hurt. Well, they, not in that way, right? Yeah. So it's really sad that was taken from them in that way. Yeah. And that makes me very sad.
Now to be devil's advocate, because we've been beat over the head repeatedly over and over and over again, especially in the comment section, regarding the truth of the narrator. We don't know what has been sensationalized. We don't know what is real, what is true, what isn't. Right now, we're only able to take the information that's been given and then kind of like cobble our own idea of what the events are that happened to the Menendez to the Menendez brothers. Is there a space of possibility that this did not happen and that this is preparing to take the stand in order to push a narrative that their lawyer wants them to say? I'm not saying it did or it didn't happen, but for the sake of argument.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I know that you don't know a lot about the case.
No,
or like,
I don't.
Yeah, and I only know some things, and I only know some of the things based off of some of the comments, right?
Okay.
So from what I've heard, some of what they are saying is actual record. Okay. I don't know, because this is a written series and not, court documents or documentary. Like, I don't know what aspects of it are word for word, verbatim, and all that stuff. But from what I know, there was some form of abuse. Yeah. Now, was it as detailed and intricate? But regardless, it's still abuse. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure some of it is for preparation for the stand, because obviously, that's what the attorney is there for, to kind of make sure that public opinion is one way, right? Swayed one way. Right. Why do you feel like if that's what it is, or? Well,
I don't know. Well, because there was an interesting thing that I kind of realized. I was like, well, you have a lawyer giving a personal experience about their own trauma, and I'm like, shouldn't I don't know the systems in place on how this works when you're getting this kind of information from somebody. So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, she's not a professional in that field. So what is she over here giving this kind of context to, I guess, make her client feel a little bit better? Shouldn't there be like a psychiatrist in the room with her during this thing? Like, I don't like I said, I don't understand. Then it hit me, and I was like, okay, well, if this is going to be this setup for a court thing, and he's taking the stand, like, he has to have in his head, without a shadow of a doubt, that this narrative that they have to sell to some jurors about what went down as to the why, the motive as to why you would take your parents' life. Now, don't get me wrong, like, this is an incredibly telling, gripping, emotionally jarring scene, but if she's doing it from the standpoint of, I need to get this person prepared to get their story right and to think in such a way about who their parents are, then it feels very almost like mechanical in a sense. It's like, I'm not necessarily doing this to get the feeling and emotion out of it. I'm doing this so that we can get the story straight that we need to sell in order to win your freedom. Does that make sense?
No, I get that. No,
Okay.
I get that.
Okay.
But why would you not have that conversation?
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because I don't know any of this of the backstory. So I'm just trying to figure out the why, and then why she would be like, no, your parents are this.
Well, I mean, I think part of, like, what I get from it,
Okay.
from just what I've seen on the screen, right? I feel like it was her, you know, I think that's part of the reasons why they showed that scene of her and her husband and talking about her wanting to adopt a child and wanting to do motherhood over because she wasn't necessarily the best mother the first go round.
Right.
So I feel like she has her own kind of, with a bunch of different things, right?
Okay.
And so here's this young child whose parents are completely horrific. She said her father wasn't, the world's best.
Right.
And so I feel like it was just part of her humanity, just kind of coming in and being like, no, your mother was horrible, or no, this is what my father does, and I'll never forgive him. I think it was a little of both.
Okay.
I feel like it was a little of both. Now, should she have had some kind of therapist in the room? Absolutely. I do not understand. I mean, I get that it's a different time period, all that stuff.
Right. And also, Holly, this has been Hollywood.
Of course it has.
Right.
Of course it has. And there may have been one in there. You know what I mean?
Somebody off screen or something. Right.
We just don't know.
Okay.
However, this is a young minor.
Yeah.
And you were talking to him about abuse, and you don't have some type of mental health professional.
Well, see, that was kind of the thing.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, well, what is the methodology behind this when you don't have that? Like, you're obviously not a mental health professional.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in the room that's there. So I was like, this has to be a tactical thing.
Probably, but like I said, I just feel like as a minor, I feel like, come on now, you don't have anybody in the room with this minor other than this. That part, I feel like hopefully that's just Hollywood.
Right.
Decision.
And I know we're getting lost in the woods and what
we went on a whole other
on what the purpose of this scene is, and the purpose of, first off, oh man, Cooper Koch, Cooper Koch, I think that's the name of the actor.
I don't remember.
Cooper Koch.
Oh.
What a phenomenal scene. That was extremely difficult, but I think it did its job regarding, making us feel some kind of way regarding, this Eric's life experience. That was awesome. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
I was gonna say I think I kind of knew what to expect, so I wasn't as traumatized as I thought I was gonna be.
Okay.
I think it's horrific. I think we had kind of heard some of it in the previous episodes.
Okay.
I just feel like the amount of love that he still has, or how he's torn about still loving his parent, that part is like literally I'm like about to water up right now because that part is what really got me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, he really, but he was a child and these were his parents, So regardless, and I see that a lot, like regardless of what horrific things they may do to you, they still love their parents. And it's just that's a tough thing.
Yeah. Yeah. To address some of the comments, Ariel, who said something I thought was interesting. That was it was in the late 80s and 90s, so I don't think that kind of sensitivity was a thing back then. That's in regards of to even having somebody else in the room.
And the minors, yeah.
And we also have to keep in mind that this is a Hollywood story. It's going to be sensationalized.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it nowadays, even sometimes if there's a minor, even if it's not something that's like this, they still will try to talk to you without your parents in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
from a technical side of things too, I thought this scene was really interesting because everything seems so distant and far away from the beginning. Like, he comes in, she's sitting at the table, you can see her bags off to the side. You don't see her face.
I loved that.
You only see Eric's. And gradually over the span of like 30 plus minutes, the camera just slowly pushes in. There's no cuts. And it gets more and more personal. I just think like the composition of the scene was just really brilliant and what he's saying is already jarring enough. You don't need to do cool lighting and cool cuts and all this other stuff. And, it's just beat by beat, bar from bar. Cooper, the actor who played Eric, just delivers and delivers and delivers. And then you see like these cool Ari Grainer, who plays Leslie, who plays the
attorney.
The attorney was just throwing him alley-oops from an acting standpoint, of just making sure he hits all of these great beats. It was such a phenomenal scene. I think this scene by itself is probably going, when we got award season coming like right around the corner, I could definitely see, an Emmy coming out of this by itself. This is probably one of the more standout scenes I've seen all year, all season.
I agree with that from looking at from this actual series.
Yeah.
Not the series as a whole, because Dahmer, like I said, that's a whole other level.
Yeah. But just pound for pound,
but
just this episode.
This episode for this season is my favorite in terms of the actor portrayals. Yeah. Now, award winning?
No, it was too much. It was overkill. You think it was like killing ants with sledgehammers?
I thought it was good. Like, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I loved the single teardrop. I love the way that, like, you could see like his motions change.
Yeah. For 30 minutes he carried this
like
scene.
how he was sitting. Yeah. There was a lot about him that I really did appreciate and I thought was really good. But I don't know why I wasn't as moved as I thought I would be. Like I said, I don't know why, but I thought it was amazing. And like you, I liked that there was just the two of them. Yeah. And they carried the entire thing. And literally when it was over, I felt like it had only been like 10 minutes.
Man, it felt like.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what? It's over already?
It felt like somebody was squeezing my chest the entire time. And as the camera got closer and closer, it just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And then by the time it was done, it felt like, like. I was like, oh shoot, I can breathe again.
Yeah, because we were right here. Yeah, we were like right in his face, like it was like
that was nuts. That was just absolutely nuts. And here's the other thing. I'm glad for those that got a chance to watch this live. I don't know if we could put this on the channel.
Oh, because of all the things that were said.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's none of y'all's necessarily interest. I was thinking that, I was like, I don't even know if we can even put this on the channel. It may just be like a bonus thing. So for those that were able to watch it live, thank you. I'll have to figure that out. That was really good. If the rest of this episode, the rest of the season can kind of taper off, and I think this episode alone is good enough to tell and recommend. Be like, you should probably see this series, season 2, strictly on the strength of episode 5. But you have to make sure the person, because I can't think of anything more triggering than this episode. Even when they had the episode where he was like they were murdering their parents.
Yeah, that part for me, and that was episode 1, and I was like, that to me was, there's trigger warnings necessary.
I don't think I think my expectations for them peaking any more of this series, I don't have any more. I don't think you can beat that. So it's like, let's just kind of like get to the end now. Like for me, and how about you? How are you feeling about the rest of the season?
I feel like I just want to know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like as far as I just want to know. Like I don't need any more detail about, certain things.
Yeah.
But I just need to know like what's going to happen now. And that I am very excited to find that out though.
I think it's a good place to kind of stick a fork in this. This was an exceptional scene, exceptional craftsmanship from an acting standpoint, great choices from a director. I know it doesn't look like this is one of those projects that the director had a lot of input on, but the composition, I thought it was brilliant. I thought the really strong choices. And it sets up, for me to get ready to close this whole thing out. I'm kind of like tired now.
Absolutely. I feel that mentally, physically, emotionally.
I'm just, and I mean that in
a good way.
Yeah. It's a compliment to it's a compliment to the work.
Yeah.
But I'm beat.
Absolutely.
If you were curious who it is that we're talking with, one of the perks of being a member of our Patreon is that you get special access to a private group within our Discord to actually watch these reactions with us. I don't know what version of this that you all are getting because I am sure it's going to be horribly cut on our end in order to make sure that we can clear YouTube's requirements. But if you don't want to miss out on an opportunity to see the entire thing, becoming a Patreon member is the way to do that, so you can see it live and you can see the actual replay on the Patreon page. Now, if you want to get to know this beautiful lady a little bit better, Mikel-Claire.
They know me enough. We're trauma bonded for life.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I have to make it light because that was very it was very heavy.
Yeah.
Link in description. Follow along. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we came in real kind of lighthearted. I had no idea the type of trauma I was about to walk into. I had a general idea, but I didn't think it was gonna be that. So obviously our
processing is like
a lot different as a result of that. But thank you all so much. It really means a lot that you all are supportive and watching with us. And we will catch you for the next episode. All right, y'all. Take care. Peace.